Card show season is upon us. We're less than 2 months away from the National, and the theme of this card show was Be Nice, Make Friends, and Negotiate, Negotiate, Negotiate. The 2024 Tulsa Card Show was a 200-table affair. On first glance, a majority of the dealers were prominently displaying their autographs, and it seems like autos are becoming a bigger and bigger driver of the hobby these days. As always, my first task is to pick up a new Bryce Harper card for the kid. In short order, a dollar box coughed up this 2021 Topps Heritage card and this Gypsy Queen as well. 2 for $1, I asked, with steely dead eyes not connected to any soul I could perceive. The dealer robotically returned $1 each. All right, dude, $1 each. I had just arrived and wasn't yet ready for a fight. Generally, I'm on the hunt these days for T205s, T206s, and Bryce Harper rookies. It was easy to see who had the vintage, but the Harper rookies were harder to spot, so I asked each dealer as I approached if they had any. Within just a few minutes, I was directed to a table in the back who apparently had a Harper rookie. And indeed he did. It was the 2012 Topps Chrome Harper rookie and a PSA 10 to boot. It was priced at $225. That's a strong price, but not totally out of touch with recent comps. I asked to see it, but before he opened the case, he looked at me and said, "Well, that price is wrong. It's actually $350. Okay. Why the new price?" He explained that he knew that he had the only PSA 10 at the show. I explained that comps were about 200. He explained again that he had the only one available. We had a little supply and demand standoff going on. Knowing that I could land that card for $200 all day on eBay, I passed on the card. I was always the kid happy to delay gratification and get the second marshmallow, and that's still true today. Just 2 tables down, I came across the same card in a PSA 7, priced at $75. The surface wasn't great, and I'm really looking for a PSA 10 I can tuck away for 20 years until he makes the Hall of Fame, so I passed on that one too. Next up was a few boxes of autographs, in which I found Lance Parrish here. Lance Parrish came to form with the Tigers, a rare, power-hitting catcher, and he came over to the Phillies late in his career where he was instrumental in the mentoring and development of a young Darren Daulton. He was an 8-time All-Star, but not really a superstar. The guy wanted $20 for it. "Are you serious?" I asked. Yep, he was serious. I offered $5, which is the correct price. 88 Topps cards are worthless, and Parrish signed TTM for no fee. I could have this card for the price of a stamp, but I understand he's got to make a little money on it. My offer stood at $5. He refused. I kept the conversation positive, complimented his cards, and promised to stop back in case he reconsidered. Moving on to one of the vintage tables and a dealer I knew, I was greeted with a cheery and familiar "Phillies guy" as he pulled out pre-war cards he thought I might want. There were some cool cards in there too, some T206s and some Diamond Stars, all of which piqued my interest. There were 3 T206 cards, Mickey Doolin, Chaz Doohan, and Otto Kanabe. All 3 were in good condition with great color, 2 Piedmont backs, 1 Sweet Capital. We started the conversation at $100 each, which were strong prices for ungraded T206s, but generally in line with the market. I set them off to the side and asked about the Diamond Stars card. We got into the weeds, shooting the breeze about mid-30s cards, the Gaudis, DeLongs, Diamond Stars, you name it. He was softening more and more, knowing that I was a real collector, that I knew what I was talking about, and most importantly, he could see I was excited about the cards. The 1936 Diamond Stars Lou Chiozza had great color and was a blueback ink variation. This is a fairly rare card in the blueback. The total PSA pop report is only 51. And I'd put this one at a VGEX4 or so. Chiozza played for the Phillies for only 3 seasons, but he had a notable few seasons at that. He was the first player in Major League history to bat in a night game when he led off for the Phillies on May 24, 1935 against the Reds, the first night game in MLB history. Also, Chiozza ended Babe Ruth's career. A few days after the night game, the Phillies were playing the Boston Braves at the Baker Bowl, and a 40-year-old Babe Ruth was in the outfield. Chiozza hit a fly ball to right, and Ruth tried his best to move his deteriorating body towards the ball, but wrenched his knee something fierce in the process. Down he went. Chiozza ended up with a triple, and Babe Ruth limped off the field for the final time. He went directly into the clubhouse and would never return. 3 days later, he announced his retirement. So I was telling the dealer the story about Babe Ruth and about the night games, and he relented. Phillies guy, you need to have these cards. So he made a deal, $200 for all four, $50 apiece. No doubt a repeat customer discount baked in, but that's the good part of establishing relationships in the hobby. I was over the moon to add a Diamond Stars to the collection and the first of 3 T206s to the team set. The takeaway here is that dealers don't want to sell to jerks. And when they do, jerks don't get discounts. They want to sell to collectors, so be a collector. Day made. Moving on. The best card I saw all day was a T206 Red Portrait Ty Cobb in a stunning PSA 5. This one was the more rare Piedmont Series 460 Factory 25 variation. I did not have $20,000, but I did have fun thinking about having $20,000. Nor was I really interested in the dealer's prepared statements on Josh Gibson's stats overtaking Cobb with the incorporation of the Negro League stats into MLB historical records, so I quickly excused myself from the conversation. I swung back to the guy with the Lance Parrish autograph. $5? I said with a smile on my face. He came back at 10. I told him I'd come back again. The next dealer had his boxes organized by player, and I went right for the stack of Harpers. Out popped the 2012 Chrome rookie that I had already passed on twice. It wasn't a perfect example, but it was close. Perfectly centered, it just needed a wipe down. He was priced at $30, with the Update Series All-Star Game card at $5. I offered $20 for the pair. He came back at $30, I came up to $25 for the pair, and he shook my hand. With most recent ungraded comps in the range of $40, I thought this was a good deal. And we have to always keep in mind that when we're looking at online comps, we have to factor in the tax and the shipping that we pay on top of that fee. So getting in under that price is really important. I'm still looking for the Blue Helmet rookie, card 661, but that will have to wait for another show. I passed on the PSA 10 Chrome rookie at $350, and I passed on a PSA 7 at $75. For $25, this was the right buy for me. I suspect this would grade a 9, but I'm happy with the ungraded example. Adding it to my Harper rookie run, I'm about halfway there. The last vintage find for the day was some early 60s post-serial cards. I'm not too keen on the post-serial cards and generally think they're overpriced, but I found some in a box of low-grade vintage for 50 cents each, and I ended up getting 5 for $2. Postcards are usually a mess, but it's okay to trim these cards to clean them up, which I may or may not do in the future. For $2, I like the option. With some big purchases out of the way, I tucked into the discount bins to see what I could find. First up was this 1960 Topps Bobby Smith, which I have, but this one is in ultra mega high grade. It's a tad off center, but the surface, edges, and corners are perfect. For $1, I'll take it. Also, a couple of Schmidts, a 2001 Topps archive of his rookie photo, and the Quaker Chewy Topps card from 1986. I've got many other of the oddball advertising cards from the mid-80s. 2 for $1? I'll have both. Another oddball find was this oversized 86 Topps Schmidt, which I'll use in the cover display pocket of one of my albums. And along with it was this World Series highlight card from 2003 that depicts the 1980 series win and MVP by Schmidt, which didn't get its own card in 1980, so I'm happy to add this to the 1980 team set. And in the spirit of adding to championship teams, I found the 2008 Topps Heritage team card of what was the 2008 World Series champions. Yeah, I'll take that too. Some ultra-modern pickups included Wes Wilson and Michael Lorenzen from the Topps Big League set, which I'll add to the 2023 team set since they didn't otherwise get cards. Chrome Update, Nick Castellanos from the All-Star game last year, and a Stadium Club card of the Bedlam at the Bank moment. All cards were $0.25. Out of the dollar bins came this Topps Now number 866 of Bryce Harper with a print run of only 1,000. and a Bowman Platinum pre-rookie of Andrew Painter. We'll see if Painter pans out in the long run. I'm okay with a $1 investment on the future of the Phillies pitching staff. I swung back around to the Parrish autograph guy, who was still holding firm at $10, but I could sense he appreciated the humor of my repeated attempts. Growing weary after hours of card shuffling, I was heading towards the exit when I noticed this 2022 Topps Now number 1136A of JT Realmuto. It was autographed and had a base relic from Game 1 of the 2022 World Series. It was numbered to just 99. That's a real nice card. The dealer had it at only $60, which seemed low. Comps were in the $150 range with a high of $325. More chatting revealed that this card was on consignment. The owner had bought it when produced in 2022, hoping to flip it, but failed to do so. Tulsa, Oklahoma is not a very hot Phillies market, but JT Realmuto is an Oklahoma native, and he was a high school sports legend around here. He was committed to play at Oklahoma State before getting drafted by the Marlins. So the guy bought the card hoping JT's Oklahoma credentials would turn it into big money, but he was wrong. So he's been holding on to the card for a year and a half, and at this point just wanted to get rid of it. Even though $60 was a good price, I offered $50. The dealer called his friend who owned the card, and they said, yeah, take it. $50 for an autographed World Series relic numbered to 99. Happy as a clam with that deal, and it will take its place on my autograph shelf, which you can build yourself if you watch episode 30. Having exhausted my card show budget, I was down to my last $5, and you know where I was heading. I had one last stop to make before heading to the car. As I approached the guy with the Lance Parrish autograph for the 4th time, $5 bill extended and a big smile on my stupid face, he just started laughing. Okay, just take it. I shook his hand and thanked him for tolerating my jocularity. I tucked the Parrish into my pocket, and off I went into the summer season with new cards, new stories, and new collecting goals. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap on Season 5. We'll return in a few weeks for Season 6 with new episodes and more on baseball card stories, legends, and lore.